Okay. I got the thumbnail uploaded this time. Whoopsie. Sorry about that. I'm a little silly goofy sometimes. Alright. Wrong button. Alright. Okay. Now, for real. We're here for real. Mania stream real this time. Okay? Sorry, as soon as I noticed that my thumbnail was gone, I'm like, this is gonna deeply upset me, but Mania stream real this time. It's real, not as opposed to being fake. Oh yeah, the blue page, yeah. The blue page. Reality is gay. I hope you guys liked my, I don't know if you have seen my short that I uploaded. I hope you guys liked my sneaky little short. I hope you like my thumbnail that I forgot to upload, but is now there. The thumbnail is there. Thumbnail also real. Yes, welcome back. Hello, people. Found my gloves. I set them in a completely different room. We're loring today. Today is about lore. And I'm putting on my gloves. All the things. So first up, a few things. One, if you're just joining in, this is your first stream that you've been to recently, or you haven't submitted a character for the blue stream, here's your friendly little message to, hey, go submit your blue or dark blue characters. I don't think I did, Ghastly. Oh, on a community post? Never mind, I do think I saw that. Yeah, I looked back at your message. Today almost caught you doodling Echo. Oh no, you'd have been in big trouble there. But yes, if you haven't submitted a character, please do that. Thank you, Ghastly, thank you everyone who submitted a character. Thank you those who are going to submit a character. But yeah, now we're gonna just remove the blue ones, so. And today, we're doing some lore today. You know, as we do on now Wednesdays. It's the lore stream. And I will say, this character is the one that I've got like 0 ideas for and too many. Now, as I like to start off this stream, I'm just gonna go over to my little YouTube post. Okay, so today I gave a few more, like by a few more I literally mean like one more hint than I normally do. So for this, I have this picture of an angel. No one correctly identified what the picture is supposed to be, but I say that's good because this is wrong. The angel that it's depicting is not actually the angel that it is. They're a demi-human moss species. That's so cool. But that congratulations, Texas. This is a seraphim. But technically, seraphim do not look like this. They do not look like this at all. So I was trying to mislead people. The next thing is this, which, Silly got right. For the record, Silly got it right, but didn't note why it was there. But we'll get to that in a second. And then this dragon, for those who are obsessed with dragons with me, you would know this is called an amphitheater. It is a snake-like dragon with wings. No legs, just wings. That tends to be classed as like an amphitheater, especially when you don't see feathers, though a lot of amphitheaters modernly are depicted with feathers, but I'll get into that. The next one is this one. This is, I think it's Ido, I think you pronounce it Idowendo, aka the rainbow serpent from African mythology. I can't remember which mythology at this point in time. But yes. This is the rainbow serpent. And, of course, we have a little segment of the thumbnail. I hope you guys like the thumbnail. So, and for this, we had, we had a few theories this time. I would like to point out, Silly. So, for Silly here, who, pointed out that the prism is an optical glass. That is true. It is an optical glass. There was also Quetzalcoatl mentioned, which Quetzalcoatl is a reference for this dragon. It wasn't any of the pictures that I used, however, but it is specifically an optical glass. And those that don't know what that means, it means it's like a super clear, shiny, often reflective glass, which can be used in many things like glasses, as well as prisms. The prisms that produce rainbows really easily. And I really like this one, and I'm paying attention to Guzzy. One eyeball angel is it supposed to be? I think it's Dajjal. I don't know how to pronounce that one. However, I will say, no. I do like it though, because even though I used an image of what people say, oh, this is what a seraphim looks like. That picture is not a seraphim. Not a seraphim at all. However, I do find that really interesting, because if you are not familiar with like Islamic, like the religion, mythology of it, that is specifically, it is like a one-eyed angel that is like the false messenger of God. Which I think that's really cool, because I do actually have something that references that, just not with this dragon in particular, and I just wanted to point that out. We're not talking about angels technically. We are actually talking about dragons today. It just happens to be kind of like an angel dragon. Or no, my Wi-Fi stuff. No, you're so good though, Silly. That's why I said, you are right. It is an optical glass specifically, but I think you're thinking about it a little too hard. But you were right. Anyway. today we are talking about, and I feel like it's only familiar, so of course I'm gonna have to draw a little rainbow serpent up here just to add to like my little scene of all the characters so far. Also, wait 1 minute before we get in. We have a visitor that doesn't often come around. This is not Rosie. This is Bella. You can tell because her fur looks like the night sky because she's got all this gray fur. Rosie likes to hang around me. Bella likes to be where there's people, and currently I'm the only person in the house. And that is the only reason why Bella is here. Because she's like, oh, if I'm in the room with person, then person will give me attention. But she normally lingers around my father. Who's, again, not home. The Paw Patrol show is a propaganda. Trust. That's why, dude, I was looking forward to your comment, silly. I was hoping that I didn't mean to scare you away by saying you were overthinking. I was hoping to be like, silly, you are correct. You are on the right track. I am encouraging this, but I don't want to stray you off the path. You overthinking was like, I can see you heading off into the woods. Like, you're on the path, but you're looking towards the woods. And I don't want to encourage you to go into the woods. I'm so sorry about that. Besides, overthinking is fun. I'm not going to Myrtle Beach because I have stupid immigration reasons. I mean, that's fair. There's been a lot of things. So today, I'm just going to draw a simple little rainbow. And it's going to be annoying since I only used one color to do these things. So the rainbow is probably going to end up being like yellow. So I'm not going to care to add all the stripes. I'm just going to... and maybe add like a nice little sun. Coming outside of the mountain. I will say, we're not talking about the Supreme Angel today. I will admit, I intentionally ended the stream of next week we're going into heaven. 2 lead people who knew Astray. Cause I knew people were probably gonna immediately guess the Supreme Angel. Because he's one of the most important figures in heaven. But we are not. We are not. No angel today, but we are talking about a dragon that lives in heaven, so I didn't lie. I merely misled. I will say, I am a little sad because I was planning to do something really special for this stream because I've been trying to finish up my little whiteout short story. But I didn't finish it in time. So, hopefully I'll be able to finish that before next week. About a Sunday stream better than a Saturday stream? I can't stream on Sunday. On Sunday specifically, like, not all of the time, but one, I work on Sundays, like always, so I usually am tired, and then 2, I do tabletop roleplay. I do like some like D&D Pathfinder stuff on Sunday usually. What's the plans for later streams? So this upcoming, it will be on Saturday just because I cannot stream on Sunday. It's gonna be our dark blue stream. Of course. But yeah. Oh yeah, it's 4th of July. I honestly forgot it was 4th of July. I mean, I don't know if I care to reschedule it because I don't know. I'm not celebrating the 4th of July. I kind of hate this country. But I get that I've got a lot of American viewers that probably will be. Yeah, and Sunday is your birthday. Oh, I mean... I don't know. I don't know if it's like too late to reschedule or if you would like to do it like... Because I'm not able to do it on Sunday. I do know that much. I mean, I might be able to. I'll think about your offer, silly. Well, AV. So anyway, last time we left off with Ikogaishi, the god of the land, and today we're going to the god of the light, aka Ragdabol. Ragdboa. I always say the name weird. I haven't figured out how I want to pronounce this name. And more so, I haven't... This name, I literally changed this name to give you an idea why I feel so underprepared and why I'm not quite sure on the name. Is because I literally changed it less than 10 minutes before stream started, okay? Because I completely forgot the plan that I was gonna do for this dragon. So I made a whole nother lore for this dragon. So now the original name simply would not work. Graphic novel Ghosts, I have not. I have not read that. Honestly, I haven't finished any of my art fight references. I'll be so honest. I've been so busy. I'm River the Silly Viporian. I'm not sure what you mean by how do I post my picture to your email. I can't join the club thing. I will talk about it. Absolutely you should post your Gingle Mask sketch. That sounds super cool. Just give me 1 second. All right. I looked up how to pronounce it. It's rainbow. It's rainbow. 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 Anyway, so I had a few different ideas for like so I guess a little bit of lore for people that know. I have 3 dragons representing like the 3 main like elements, ideas, planes of this world, that being the ocean, the land, and the sky. Obviously, we talked about them, and those were for my Phantasticus dragons. However, I had 3 other dragons for each of the main planes of existence. That means there's one in hell, one in heaven, and one in the in-between, and I had a lot of ideas for the heaven dragon, simply because the idea of like a heavenly dragon, there is so many like mythological beliefs and dragons that I could pull from for inspiration. One of the dragons, and I originally used the original name, that would be Tianlong. For those who are not familiar with is there an OC related to EuroC? Well, what reference are you pulling from EuroC? I don't know. But so for those that are not familiar with Tianlong, it is a dragon from Chinese mythology. It is probably one of the most popular dragons. It literally means heavenly dragon or celestial dragon. Like, Tianlong is the dragon of the heavens. Mainly is like it guards heavenly palaces, pulls together chariots of the gods, and it is like divine. And that's originally what the inspiration of this dragon was going to be upon, this heavenly Chinese dragon. However, then I'm like, do you want to know what I think would be really cool, especially in my heaven and how it is viewed within the world, if instead of that I decided to pull from the rainbow serpent? Now, there is probably like 50 different rainbow serpents. I already mentioned one of Ida Wendu, which is a very common name in Africa. And also, I believe, parts of the Caribbean. But there's also another one, I can't remember its name, in a lot of Australian regions. And of course, different African countries and cultures have different names. But Ida Wendu is kind of just like the most, like the very common one. But I didn't just want to put like Ida Wendu into my world like I have some other dragons, because I had more, especially because the rainbow serpent there's so many variations. In fact, Quetzalcoatlus, and it's why you specifically, when you thought about, when Silly specifically brought up Quetzalcoatlus, that's also why I'm like, yeah, like overthinking as well, because I'm like, well, technically you are wrong. That is not Quetzalcoatlus. However, Quetzalcoatlus is very similar to the rainbow serpent in other beliefs and cultures. So even that, like, really isn't too far off. The main difference is the rainbow serpents tend to be more associated with water, versus Quetzalcoatl is more associated with air and the sky. You didn't miss too much, Silly. I wouldn't worry about it. I'm just kind of talking about dragons. Oh, also, Tisha, just to answer your thing, since I've finished a little piece of my little rant. No, I do not have if you're talking about your nail character, I remember seeing that. But yeah. I do not have a character that is like a nail or any character based on Dandy's World. I thought about making one, but I didn't. so so I have like so many ideas. For one, the rainbow serpent, obviously, it's a snake. A lot of the rainbow serpent is a giant snake that could kind of fly and usually lived in deep water. Now, a lot of my dragons, there are dragons that don't have wings that can fly through magical abilities, but I decided it would be fun to give this a wing, which is why I included the picture of the amphitheater, which again is a legless but winged dragon, and is also why I decided to pull from a very generic, very not even a seraphim picture of a seraphim, because I did want to kind of pull in that whole angelic thing because of what I've talked about in other spaces. So just to get actually drawing, hold on, let me move my lamp here a bit. And oh my goodness, I forgot my water. Hold on, it'll take me 2 seconds. I literally filled my water. It's in the other room. I filled it up hours ago, so now it's a little lukewarm and my ice is melted. But that's fine, because I have water now. So, one idea is, hello, Texas Maximus. I'm doing okay, pretty good. And, I do not know how to pronounce your name, but hey, welcome back. So I'm kind of, and I was thinking about doing like a snake-like face. You know, it's the rainbow serpent. Honestly, I don't know why YouTube just doesn't notify people sometimes. I mean, I guess if you have like limited notifications, then of course it's trying to notify you for things. Oh, you saw your red character stream. That was a while ago. Did you try the link in the description? Did you? So the link in the description is correct. I kept forgetting. I've not updated it on the channel page. I kept forgetting. Yes, it's the gay serpent. Which, okay, so I have this thing. A little hint for the future. So I have 6 whole... I'm doing a lore stream. So I'm talking about my Phantasticus characters. I'm talking about their lore, the story, how I made them, and designing them. So out of my 6, like, dragons, like my god dragons, 4 of them are women. 2 of them were supposed to be men. That being the Leviathan, which I'll talk about, and then this one, because I'm like, wow, everyone here is just girl. It's girl maxing. However, now I've run into an issue, because originally he was supposed to be a guy, because he was based off of Tianlong. However, now that I'm basing it off of the rainbow serpent, a lot of depictions of the rainbow serpent, they're also fertility goddesses, and are women. So, I don't know. Maybe we have another girl. How many streams? Hold on. I think I need to count. I'm not going to count the colorful streams. How many lore streams has it been since I've drawn a man? 1, 2, 3, 4. Gender fluid, not a man. 5, 6. By gender, so kind of a man, but not like a cis man, and that's what I'm looking for. 7. Trans-masculine, but not a man. 8, 9. Once again, gender fluid, not a cis man. 10. Non-binary. Intersex. 11. It has been 11 streams since I've drawn a man. Yes, I'm looking for a cis man. No cisgender men here. I think so. My next idea is like maybe making them trans, but I don't know if it's trans feminine or trans mask. But I'm thinking the solution, make that dragon trans. Do you believe in Jesus? That's a loaded question that I'm not gonna answer on stream right now. Yeah. I have like a lot of male OCs, just... you know what? I take that back. I don't. Everyone's a little, gender freaky. I think for the next stream you should do Has Been Hotel. Well, I mean, I am doing blue. I know Vox, like blue and dark blue. I know Vox has been suggested. I don't think there's been any other Has Been Hotel or Haluvia Boss suggestions, which I'm surprised. I'm surprised there's no Osmodius. I would draw Osmodius, happily. I would draw Vox, less happily. Oh. Sorry, I'm drawing on, like, the very edge of the page, and therefore my phone doesn't, like, to show you it. So, of course, I'm starting off with the body of a snake. Now, Now, for my idea, I was going to, I do like them long snakes, but this snake is not as long. But I was thinking about doing, like, based on the seraphim, which is why I include a very poor seraphim. So I was thinking maybe do, like a bunch of, like, winged... ear, face, you know, a bunch of feathers. Bunch of wings. Also, I just realized you didn't see that. I literally just drew that, like, perfect wing. Just literally slap that. Love that. This is a less perfect wing, and that's because you can actually see me drawing it. So, so this is kind of an idea, and then with that, like, add, like, several eyes. But then I had, like, this is, like, the base idea of what I had for this dragon. But then I thought about something really cool. Also, hello and thank you, Skyfalls. And that would be, like, what if I added a bunch of horns that are, like, kind of like the optical glass that, like, instead of being like, oh, the serpent is rainbow colored, so when it flies, it looks like a rainbow. But instead, I add a bunch of these, like, kind of clear, reflective horns across the dragon that make a bunch of rainbows. You guys hearing the vision? And that's kind of, yeah. Like, if I went and, I will admit, another reference idea is I really like, if you've seen like Zelda, specifically, what is it called? It's not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, where there's the Zelda dragon. I really loved her little eye feather things, and I think I want to like do that here as well. Like just that one little detail. I think it's so cool. Which is why, of course, on the thumbnail I drew that there. But obviously, I want to pull off, like, you know, add several eyes, do some of that that freak shit. I know, and I was also thinking about Iris, the goddess of rainbows. In fact, when I was renaming this dragon, Iris was one of the names I was thinking of, but I didn't end up going with it because it didn't feel dragon enough. Which is another reason why I'm thinking about making this dragon a girl. But anyway, but that means there is an issue. And I guess if there's really an issue, I should, like, maybe just to celebrate the end of Pride Month, let the people decide. Obviously, yes, you should draw while I draw. What should the dragon be? Honestly, American schools also suck, but yeah. I need to know, who's the one person voting for a cis man? I was almost tempted not to include that option at all. I'm very curious. That is fair. Let the dragon be a dragon, and the dragon's going to be a dragon, definitely. That is for certain. But, I think it would be fun. Let the dragon be trans. Yeah, this is mainly for the human form more than anything else. Which is why we're doing this. So for this, like, prismatic shard idea, obviously, we'd have to add, like, a lot more horns and stuff. I still think I'm gonna do, like, the wings. Like the little head wings. Also, I'm realizing you can't... I'm going to end a poll merely so you can see the dragon I'm drawing, but it looks like Transmask has won. Congratulations for the trans man. I have another trans man character. I have a lot of Transmask characters. I wanted to keep the poll up for longer, but you really can't see what I'm doing. So I'm thinking maybe 6 is a little too busy. So I'm gonna do instead 4. Maybe add... And I do think I still want to do like these little things. I can, but then it makes it really tiny, especially because I can't change it once I added it, and I didn't realize how much of a problem it would be. At least I don't think I could change it. I don't know. What is that Mau Mau? What were you going for originally? I think since this dragon is transmask, and I've heard the people, okay? That would mean out of my 22 gods, 3 of them are transmask, and one of them are transfemme. And of course, there's a bunch of non-binary bitches. So, first of all, I'm thinking, free speech. That's very fun. Funny. What? But I'm just a baby. Is there something wrong with that? I need more lead in my pencil. Well, graphite. We don't put lead in pencils no more. Because the children keep eating it like dumbasses. Why are you like this? I don't know, I just am. And another idea, because I want to do this dragon, the dragon of many eyes. Do eyes. 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 Okay, I do have an idea. Okay, another idea that now I've got another idea. Like, there's that one idea for a dragon face, and another dragon face idea I have right now is I'm gonna do it right here. I'm gonna draw it smaller. And like, what if I draw a dragon? I don't know, this is a vaguely dragon-shaped head. But instead of the wings like being like ears, what if I replace the eyes with wings and then put the eyes on top of the wings? So instead of doing that little feather detailing under the eyes are literally just wings. Hold on. Am I cooking, guys? We cook? The pay, it's up. We're not halfway done. We're like a third. Ooh, I think I like that. Multiple eyes there for multiple little head wings. And then this eye, I don't know if it would really quite work as a wing, so I can just keep this idea going on. But then I could do this horn, and maybe instead of the 2 horns, I'm not really liking the symmetry of the 2 horns. I'm gonna give it like 1 unicorn horn. And then more along the spines, add more definition to the snoot. Add some littler horns. Littler horns, littler spines. I said that. No, the more eyes, the better. Dash me now. Oh. Ooh, I'm liking that. How are you guys? You guys vibing with this? We fuck with this? Cause I know I do. Sexy angel dragon. Why we JKing, coward? I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure. Never mind. I'm not sure about anything. I would. The asexual desire to be attracted to dragons. It's a real thing, I promise. You mortal men bore me. Hello, Mr. Wrecker? I don't know. As an asexual, I can confirm. See? I'm not the weird one. This is normal. Episode 9 is like the Jax movie. I do agree that it's overhated. I don't mind the Jax plot, but I don't like it. Oh my goodness. Honestly, good that thing is deleted. Even if it is meant to be harmless. I don't know. Wouldn't want to attract the wrong crowd. Speaking of which, that's been really weird. You know, as I'm drawing the gay snake dragon. Gangle and Zooble do deserve more dragons. Screen time. But one thing that I thought was weird, I've attracted a lot of people who are super religious and aren't big fans of the LGBTQ community in general, and aren't big fans of Pride Months at all. And I don't understand it. Because I'm like, hello? Hello? Also, Avalon, kiss, marry, kill out of this character, Polaris and the Forest God. So the Forest God, that would be Phacelia. I'm calling her Phacelia again. Okay, so the thing is, with Phacelia, if I kiss her, I die. If I marry her, I'm dead. But, I mean, if we got to the position where we were married, then maybe I wouldn't be dead. And I do love her. I think marry Goth Baddie, Phacelia. I'd dad kiss the dragon and then kill Polaris. Not that I hate Polaris, I just hate Polaris. Polaris is a star, not the sun. That's Alias. Also, he's not even, like, a star. Like, he's not literally the North Star, and Alias is not literally the sun. They're just the gods of that thing. But I mean, I guess this dragon really isn't that developed, and I wouldn't mind kissing Polaris, but he would mind. I think I should kill him anyway. Gay? True. It is gay. This stream is gay. Wait, I'm back. What just happened? I killed Polaris. It was just one of them, but yeah. I think I want the wings to be bigger, but I simply just do not have room to draw the wings. And maybe on the tail, add some feathers. I just killed Polaris. And he's dead. What was the winner? The winner was Trans Mask, just barely. Like I think it was like 1 point more than Trans Femme. Either way, the dragon isn't cis. No, the dragon cannot. Spam doesn't exist in this world, and it would be out of his diet anyway. Spam. Honestly, ultra processed foods. There are processed food, of course. Like cans of corn are processed food, but a lot of ultra processed food doesn't exist yet. And that especially wouldn't be in the diet of a giant effing dragon. I'm removing. Hearing aids, I assume? I don't know. Also, I have a question. For one, before my question, someone's here to lick my elbows again. Look at her. Oh, you looking down at the ground? You ashamed, huh, Rosie? This nonsense? No, you see, this isn't Bella, because one, people are home to the left, and two, she doesn't have all this white fur around her face. Also, Bella has curlier fur because she's half poodle, but only half poodle. So, yes, question. What was my question? Oh, I remember my question. So, obviously, there are, like, obviously, I'm going to run out of my gods eventually. I'm going to finish all of my gods, and we are not halfway done, but we are very close. There's 22 in total, and currently I've done the Wishmaker, I've done the 3 spirits, I've done the 3 main dragons, and this one. So that means we have done a total of 8 of 22. So we're getting into, like, so, like, within the next, like, 3 weeks, I will be halfway done. So, of course, we still have a very long way to go. And I will bring this up when we get closer to that. But what kind of things do you want? What kind of characters do you want me to draw after that point? I don't think I'll draw them all together because the lore stream, I have like over 200 characters. It's not like I'm running out of characters. But like I have like a few ideas, and one of them would be to go into like my demigods, and the other one's to go into my fallen angels. Which, of course I'm allowed to draw viewers OCs. It doesn't mean that I am or will, but no one is preventing me from doing so. I don't care to make a new one. I'll be so honest. I have over 200 characters. I do make a lot of them. I don't think I need to search. And I'm not exactly asking for, like, oh, you should make a new OC based on this. I'm asking for, like, what kinds of OCs that you want. I'm not doing lore streams about other people's OCs. Not happening. Because I have, like, a few ideas in mind. Because if I do my fallen angels, I would go through the fallen angels. It wouldn't be all of my fallen angels, of course. There are quite a few of them, but it would be the original fallen angels, aka I'll talk obviously when I do eventually get to Lucifer. I'll talk about this a lot more then, but Lucifer is one of 10 fallen angels. The other 10 being Azza, Uza, Paimon, Arkiel, Set, Azazel, Lilith, Pandora, and Ariach. I've already drawn a siren, but I do have another siren character. I just showed her off a little bit, but I've done a whole video on a siren before, but I definitely, I have other siren characters. This is Kaleo, this is the god of the weather, specifically, well, not god of the weather, godling of the weather. And yeah. What about OCs for another story that can be connected to your main story? That's one thing that I was thinking of, because the other option is going into, my demigods. So I have things like, Azrael and Hecate. They are not really, main characters of the plot, but they definitely are important later. I am going, So that's one idea that is definitely an idea I had. But another idea, if I did the Fallen Angels, obviously I would do all the Fallen Angels, and then I would like to, if I did the Fallen Angels, then I would transition into, put him down immediately. Dude, I'll put you down too. Azrael is my favorite child. And as my favorite child, he doesn't play an important role in the... He doesn't play an important, he plays a very important role. He does something so important. Honestly, fair, yeah. I do not tolerate... I just want to take a moment before I continue on. I do not tolerate any racism in this chat or on my channel. Racial slurs are never funny, especially because they are often used to hurt, degrade, and that is not something that I support or ever will support. As soon as I saw the third letter, I'm like, oh, you're getting timed out immediately. I'm not even going to tolerate that. There is no space for racism here. Oh, just so you know, Mau Mau, now that we've got the racist at least timed out, so they're silenced. If you click on somebody's profiles, you'll see at the very bottom, you'll see there's a message, there's an author. Well, at least it shows author for me, but at the very bottom, there should be a button that says put in timeout, and then you can click the time that you feel is right. No, you're all fine. Exactly. It's just disrespectful, negative, and I do not support it. I will not tolerate it. Like, I tolerate a lot of stuff being openly queer on the internet. I'm not even going to begin to accept anything. Thank you so much. But yeah. Oh wait, I am subbed. Earned it again. Whoop. So the thing that I was so before that very rude interrupting, I just hydrated. There's no ice in my glass, so you can't hear it, but my water is here. Drink water, guys. So I do think I've got a good idea of what I kind of want this dragon to be. Oh wait, I remembered what we were talking about before that horrible interruption. I just barely remembered. It usually takes me a second to get back on task. So my plan was, if I did the Fallen Angels, I was going to so do the original 10 Fallen Angels. Obviously, I will be drawing Lucifer sooner than that, but if I go into the Fallen Angels, then I was going to translate from the Fallen Angels into my the Four Horsemen. Which, if I do the Four Horsemen, then a little Echo's wife gets to be drawn. But if I draw her, I have to draw the other Four Horsemen. And if I draw Azrael, then obviously I should also draw the other Four Horsemen. Therefore, I would draw, I don't know, a certain very thick Echo's wife. Well, Chirp is not a horseman. Chirp is very weird to her relationship to the Four Horsemen. She is one of the Four Horsemen, but she is also not one of the Four Horsemen. Am I doing anything fun after stream? Hell yeah, I'm gonna eat and sleep. Like the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, death, famine, pestilence, and war. I couldn't remember war for some reason. Okay. Pause. I already did the poll, and I will listen to the poll. But tell me, does this dragon give trans femme energy? Look at that. Look at that imagery there. I might have to overrule the poll. Look at that. And to be fair, I have a lot of trans masks, trans men. Like, two, but, like, if we exclude this dragon from the conversation, there are two. Oh, people are still saying trans mask? Because, I don't necessarily want to, I'll expose the one. Well, transmask, transman. A trans man is transmask. A transmask does not necessarily mean that you're a trans man. Hello, the priest of the Dark One. Any words today? I'm sorry. The only reason why I'm saying that it feels vaguely trans femme, like, the dragon feels trans femme to me because I can just hear I am like the weird, I can't remember the name of the song, but just I am a femme queen playing in the background as this dragon pulls up, okay? And that is the only reason. Oh, those are some pretty good words, Priest of the Dark One. Thank you for sharing the words. I'm not about to become a reaction YouTuber. There is not a world where I become a reaction YouTuber, I'm afraid. Okay, so people are still trans mask. Alright, I will not overrule the chat that much. There is not a world in which I become a reaction YouTuber. I don't care if it's my favorite show. I don't care if it's appropriate for, like, one, I don't think, if you wanted to suggest things that would fit my vibe, then you suggest, pneumonia. Okay? Not pneumonia. That's, Nimona. I cannot say that her name. There's not a world of me that knows how to say the name of that movie or the name of that character. Is it pneumonia? Pneumonia. Yeah, because, like, Epic the Musical, one, it's a musical. There's nothing too musical about my content. Two, as much as mythology and the stories are definitely part of it, definitely not the Odyssey. Nimona. Thank you. But yes. Hello. I do not know how to pronounce Mickey. Hello. I do not know how to say your name, but I will explain what we're doing. And hello, I am Phantasmal Mania, also called Mercury. I do 2 live streams a week. One of them where I draw viewer-suggested characters from other franchise, and the other one where I draw my own little OCs and talk about lore. And today, we're talking about Rainbow, the god of light and rainbows that lives in the heaven of my fantastical world, where we talk about what kind of Mikai. Thank you. But yeah. So I usually talk about designing aspects first. Like, you're coming here when the page looks like that. This is the other half of the page. And I mess around with design features to kind of figure out what I want to do with this character. And then when I'm starting to color it. But yeah. You could call me Split. Know that whenever I'm usually happy to talk to new people, but today I am sad. That's fair. Sometimes it's just sad day. But thank you so much for showing up, saying hi, and complimenting me. I really appreciate that. It's good to spread joy even when you yourself are not sad. I hope you find something to make your day a little bit better. I'm working on comics right now. Literally, you do not have to tell me that. Did I just see a guess what there that is no longer there? I have to make the comic before I can sell it. And I think I might print and sell physical copies, but I definitely want it for free online just because I am an advocate for free art and not putting culture behind paywalls. But I also do believe in supporting artists when you can. So it's like, I'm not against things. I like when people have access to things. And personally, as an artist, I want as many people to have access to my art as possible. But, you know, I also need to eat. And therefore, that's why maybe I'll make a physical copy. But I definitely want it to be online. I should be studying now. No, life is tastier. That's real. There's been so many times where I've put off studying because my favorite streamer was live stream. Can you draw me? I'm not drawing people today. I've drawn a green chameleon though. I drew Pascal. I am planning to do a live stream where I draw other people's OCs, but I find it to have fun with the sometimes I need to do something for myself, and that's what these lore streams are for. Oh, thank you so much, Skyfalls. I try hard. Okay, so what I was thinking, maybe I was doing a very like traditional dragon shaped face. Maybe I make it more snake shaped. Hello, Mia. These wings are ugly as hell. Hello, Trio? I saw your name and I was gonna be like Teal, but I'm like, there's an R there. The Trio. Nice I draw too. Yeah, I love drawing. My favorite thing is when people be like, I draw while listening to your streams, because I'm like, oh yeah. I love being creative and in a way influencing other people to be creative and draw things as well. Do you want to be my shows? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, sure. Maybe, mayhaps. Also, I do have another question. Any tips? Okay, there's a lot of things. So I have something that I want to say. I will get to that in a moment. Avi, ask your question, but I can give you, I can give some tips. One, bring a sketchbook wherever you go. I have a bunch of these, small sketchbooks. As you can see, it's about like half the size of these larger sketchbooks. And they fit nicely in a lot of like little like bigger purses, or I've got like a mini bag, a mini little backpack that I keep with me. I always keep a sketchbook, and whenever I have an opportunity to draw, I always draw. Sometimes I sit down and I draw life. If you draw by your phone or tablet, then bring that tablet and phone people and draw things too. But I do recommend drawing in a sketchbook. One, if you can do digital art, you can do traditional as well. And one thing that I like about traditional art, as someone who also primarily draws on a iPad that I have, because I find that a sketchbook that won't die, doesn't need to be charged, and tends to be lighter, tends to be a lot more, and is also cheaper, tends to be a lot more accessible to bring out with you with places. And especially if you like go to school and stuff. then a lot of people would be like, oh my goodness, like, oh, like, why are you, like, on your phone during class? Well, when you have a sketchbook, you can get away with it. So that's another reason why I recommend it. Now, to answer Avi's question, do they wear clothes? If so, yes, they do wear clothing, but it's not, like, required. Like, for Mothins, it's socially acceptable to not wear any clothing. However, and they don't really wear leaves. In fact, a lot of them, since they're all the original Mothins, they're based on silk moths. So even the Mothins that are not based on silk moths, they still have the aspect. So a lot of them make their own garments out of silk. And it tends to be things like more functional things. Like for clothing, they tend to do things like bags, pouches, stuff to like carry stuff, or sometimes for fashion like a hat or something to cover the waist, since a lot of their waists are bare and therefore they get cold and stuff. And so that's the main thing that I do for clothes for my Mothins. Also, hello Gigi, sorry that a bug changed your user, but welcome back. Would it be weird if I said the dragon is attractive? I mean, hear me out, I'm not the one who likes dragon. However, I am the one who likes dragons, and I would say, no, you're fair and valid for that. Hello, people who have converted. What does that mean? Yeah, I mean, a lot of my art styles have been really similar, but have really noticeable differences between them. I would say that I finally found an art style that I do stick with and I do really like, but especially like if you looked at all my sketchbooks, uh like my proportions of like legs to body to head ratio, how I draw things like hair has changed quite a bit. But all of them, they're like related. Like similar features, but they're all like different enough. Does this dragon allow me to pet it? Yes. You're Spanish? Congrats. Yep, this is a chill dragon. Of course, most dragons aren't chill. This still a carnivore. Like even though like I've drawn my dragon that's a herbivore, and this dragon is more chill than the one that is a herbivore. However, still a carnivore, still will eat you if hungry. I love dragons. That's all fine, Skyfalls. Thank you for joining for this time. Anyway, so now that we've done this, of course, there's kind of this empty space here that I don't quite know what to do with. Thank you so much, Kelly-san. Bye, Avalon. Do gods need to eat? Yes! Except for the godlings and the wishmakers specifically. It is human form time, but I have all this room, and normally the human forms only take up this space, so I still have, like, this empty space. I mean, if you'd like to include me in the show, I don't mind, but I'm rather busy, so I don't know if I could have like a major role in it. But yeah. So my gods do need to eat because the gods are still living creatures. The way the gods they I do world build. I'm just about to world build right now. So most of the gods, specifically and all of the true gods, they live among people. They are gods among man. They do not start out as God. They just live long enough and gain more and more power to the point where they become a god. And that is an exception to the Wishmaker, who died and then became a god through a powerful a bunch of magic pretty much being like injected into her flesh and then causing her to explode into this purely magical creature. And the godlings are different because they are all mortals that died, and then the Wishmaker practically picked up them off the streets and went, okay, you're a god now. And therefore, since pretty much the things that died and then through some means became god or godlike, they do not need to eat, but the things, like most other gods that are alive, they do need to. My favorite animal is a harp seal, specifically, but I do love dragons. I love dragons more than harp seals. Mothing godling when mothins don't have the longest of lifespan. There is a particular reason why a lot of the gods are the species they are, and it's creatures that live in a very long time. Do I believe in an afterlife? That is not a question for a live stream, I'll tell you that much. So anyway, onto this character. So with a human form, I do have like some ideas. For one, so we have decided, oh, I was mentioning God in the fantasy sense. I'm talking about fantastical gods from a fantasy world. I am not talking about any real religions or mythologies or beliefs that existed on this earth at any point in time. And I don't talk about my personal beliefs on stuff. I just make stuff. I wouldn't say that it's fantasy, but I wouldn't say that it's true either. My beliefs are weird, and I will not be discussing them on a live stream. Because you have to view them with a lot of nuance that people don't have. I do have a pantheon. The pantheon gods are specifically my godlings, and it is called the Wish Pantheon. Therefore, gods that the only reason why they became gods is because they died and they are now serving the Wishmaker, and the Wishmaker connects them to a pantheon. Most people worship the Wish Pantheon because with other true gods, you actually have to be in contact with them, versus the Wish Pantheon because they literally are dead and therefore they do not exist among these people. Like, you don't have to be as close to them, and because of that, it tends to be easier to worship a member of the Wish Pantheon than it does any of the actual true gods. Because, again, the proximity is gone. The god structure is a little different, though, because I have different types of gods that do different things. For example, true gods, they are way more powerful than any of my godlings. Could the gods be defeated? Yes. The Wish Pantheon's a little harder because in order to kill them, you either have to be you have to be using a very specific kind of magical weapon, and or you have to kill the Wishmaker. I cut out for a second there because my internet's being bad. I don't know what was missed out on, but yeah. Most of the gods are chill and are fine. However, there are some that are not fine. We'll talk about one of them next week. There are also other reasons why people would want to kill the gods. Like, there is a character, I won't get into it too much, there is a character in lore trying to kill, the Wishmaker. Simply because there is another consequence to, killing the Wishmaker. Hence, you would destroy the actual world. No, gods cannot die from age. Practically, how they become a god is they usually start from a mortal, and I am drawing the dragon's human form right now. But, so they start in mortal, things that can die from age, like dragons. However, dragons already live for a very, very long time. Well, not all dragons. Specific species do. And because of that, they're able to gain a lot of magical energy that pretty much, and this magical energy prolongs their lifespan. So pretty much, when they become a god, they have gained so much residual magic to have so much power that they just can't anymore. Or if they can, it is literally like thousands and thousands, like millions of years, and no one has really reached that point. Hello, Topaz. You are a bit late. I'm kind of just yapping about general lore right now. So, this dragon is gonna be like, I'm doing a lot of like, it's the beige dragon. A lot of off-white cream colors is what I was thinking for this dragon, but I might lean into more white because I want it to be like a prismatic dragon that has these clear spines that reflect like rainbow colors everywhere. So, my rainbow dragon in spirit. I drew this torso way too long. I'm realizing. Shrink it just a bit. Just a bit, not too much. Nothing crazy. Lore. It's not fine. I'm fixing it. Oh, that's so exciting, Asterox. Happy to hear that for you. They can get surgeries, for one. Two, I was trying to do them more like pecs rather than boobs. I draw boobs very differently. And so they could, too, because they can't turn into humans. They can't just turn into humans. Dragons are not shapeshifters. So therefore, their humanoid form does look like how they want it to look like. They don't need surgery, is what I'm trying to say. Give them your unicorn horn. Honestly, my drawing skills are bad too. Until I spent a lot of time drawing and getting better at them. And now I would say they are not. Also, there's a lot of my world building is in writing rather than in drawings, but I do draw, obviously. So there's a lot of ways to do world building, even if you're not a big fan of drawing. I normally give a lot of the dragons their features. I think this is a little too freak for their little more humanoid form. I think we gotta tone down the freak a bit. Hold on, Rosie wants to leave. Leave now. Exit. Exit the vicinity. I really want it. So dragons can't turn into their humanoid forms. Oh, they can! They just use magic to do that? Rather than, like, physically, like, their body, they can't just turn into their humanoid forms. They have to use some kind of magical, whether that's their own or a magical object, to turn into this form. It is not an ability that dragons naturally have, is what I'm saying. And so, therefore, a lot of the powerful godlike dragons do tend to have a form just because they're powerful godlike dragons. Do they regenerate? And they do. Would the body part be removed from surgery regenerate back? The fact that they can change their own body more vital things that is close to regeneration, but it's not perfect. And a lot of dragons don't have this super, like, regeneration is nigh impossible. If you get your arm cut off, it's not coming back. There are some creatures, like axolotls, can do it, and there are some dragons that have similar abilities. Oh, what did I say? So pretty much, some dragons can regenerate, not all dragons, most dragons can't. There is magic that can get pretty close to regeneration, but there is, like, no true regeneration except for things like axolotls and starfishes, or things that recover tissue like that naturally. Probably two, to answer your question, Split. How I'm doing quite well, actually. Honestly, I was really worried about this stream because I had like so many ideas, but at the same time I had so little ideas. Oh, make me teeny tiny. I am teeny tiny. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for their hair. I'm going to. I've already given a dragon with a buzz cut. I want to give them hair. I'm gonna play around with that just in a moment. I don't want to draw their arms. My idea, Avi, assign them to a number. You're teeny or tinier. Silly. But armless human form. That is true. This dragon has no arms. You can decide, Split. So anyway, what I was saying to Avi, yeah, I was kind of thinking long hair, but we'll get to arms later. Maybe there'll be none. So I'm gonna go over here, go down here, and draw like just a basic little face. So we could, there is long hair, of course. Yes, this is a noodle dragon. Technically, it's not a limbless dragon because it has wings, and wings are considered limbs. So one idea is do like some long straight hair like this. That would be very cool, Split. Honestly, it says there's only like two people watching on mine. There's definitely more than one because I'm watching it on a different, I have my other monitor there just to have chat up. But honestly, YouTube live streams are cursed. So here's an idea for short hair, just kind of like short down here. Or because a lot of the rainbow serpent, which is what the snake is based on a lot of, there's a lot of different types of rainbow serpents in African cultures. So I could also do something and give like a more like give more like textured hair. I could do my ringlets. I love ringlets. That's an idea. Because I am liking the idea of long hair. I just don't know how I want to do the long hair. Also, I have more. I'm going to go over here. Combine the two. I do have an idea. I might be big, might not. Alright, bye Topaz. I'm gonna go up here. And if we go here, you know, draw the usual. It's very important to get these fundamental features because they do impact features on top of them. So I think another idea that's kind of like combining both of them is if I did braids, we could do like a little... Do. This braid is hideous. The rest are fine. Oh, this braid is also gonna be hideous. You good? I don't know. Maybe even do a bun. You doing the alphabet? For a second, I thought you were keyboard smashing. But why are you obsessed with braids? I don't draw that many braids. I don't know what you're talking about. Silly, name all of my characters with braids. Let's see how many characters you can name with braids. This one doesn't count because they haven't confirmed to have braids yet. I have like Alias and Polaris. I think Set has some. I cannot remember though. Nope, Set doesn't have any. Set does not have braids. Sorry, it took me a second. Literally, Alias and Polaris. At least out of all the characters in this book, it is Alias and Polaris are the only ones that have braids. I don't see how I'm obsessed with braids. I do love drawing braids. I think they're really fun. But I don't see how I'm obsessed with them. I think I do have a few angels that sometimes wear braids too, though. So that's an idea. I mean, you can have long hair and braids. I'm looking up some styles. Cause we could do like unraveled braids as well. Like do another little face. No. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Another idea that I have is to do like and just make it like curly, like kind of like close wavy like curls instead of just long down. Because I will say, a lot of my dragons already have long, straight hair. And while I am a sucker for some long, straight hair. I feel like some textured hair would be fun. Pro tip, do your assignments instead of Kandi because you're too stressed, you gotta rest, so you waste your whole energy to your assignments, kids. Honestly, fairly good pro tip. I will say, I think the long straight hair definitely... Lucky none of you. I mean, that's fine. I think OCs with no straight hair are good. I do think the long hair is definitely fitting the best just because it's kind of simple. And there's a lot going on with the face already. And I feel like doing more might overwhelm the design. Honestly, I like that too. No need for heterosexuals. So I think I am just gonna stick with this straight hair. But I'm gonna make it like super hyper long straight hair. Is what I'm thinking. So, Gyaru? Oh, I love Gyaru. I think it's so cool. Also love the subculture too. Gyaru is like Japanese punk because it's all meant to be rebellious and rebel against the norms, and I love all kind of punk and alternative styles. So we love the Gyarus for more reason than just their clothes and makeup. The makeup is great. I don't have any Gyaru characters, but that's simply because I'm ass at makeup. Like, drawing makeup on characters that's more than like a lipstick and an eyeshadow, I start to real struggle with. Anyway, I think this is the look I'm going for this dragon. For the humanoid. Saying, never mind, I'm not gonna say that on stream. But I do see he's calling like a siren. I think it's wrong not to add some spikes on his tail. He's a spiky dragon. So, and now for clothing. I don't have any ideas for clothing for this guy. This old trans man. My main character is so evil for the... Dude, my main character is the only straight cis guy. Specifically cis white guy. No. He is the... I have a main character for the comic that I'm working on. He is the only cis male, straight, allo-romantic, allosexual character I've done. Who is also white. Add that. I need to throw that one on there. Cause I get close. Being like, oh well, you know, there's Azazel. My angels are a lot of based on Russian, so therefore he is technically white. He is straight. Angels don't have any concept of gender, but he is the most cisgender angel that an angel can be. Oh, yeah, he's aromantic. Okay, wouldn't work. Any ideas for clothing? I don't have any ideas for clothing for him. I do kind of the idea like a half up, half down thing with the bun. But that's because I love drawing bones. Queen of the Jinns, Aliadra. He's not that freaky. Angelic, shrug. I read the I don't know as like a shrug emoji. I mean, that could be an idea. Add like a toga, show off one tit, you know. I'm not gonna confirm or deny your theories. Add like, you know, like a little rainbow here and some sleeve there. Do 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 do. I do think maybe if I went in and implied some like sun, I do like the idea of this bun, and I could go in to do like some sun rays because, you know, prisms, they need light in order to function. So I do like the idea of bun. Do like some little hairpin sun ray things. Add a little necklace collar thing. Stupid geography test. Oh, that sucks. Well, if you gotta go silly, I don't blame ya. Draw another little gold bangle here. I think I'm liking that. I think we can talk about lore. Now, there's really not that much lore to talk about if I'm gonna be real honest with you. So, this is one of the oldest dragons. He nearly ties. Well, actually, no. This is the oldest dragon. Alright, I'm sorry for suggesting. So this is the oldest dragon in Phantasticus. He is older than the Wishmaker. Though, admittedly, he was, like, very young at the time of Wishmaker. Like, think young adult at the time. And of course, he's not, like, the oldest thing to exist. We'll talk about her later. But is really close. So the main thing that's going on is, so he was chilling. He's kind of like this great, he lives in a big, so there is this huge mountainous area that dips down, and so it's kind of like a volcano, but instead full of a pool of water. That is where the rainbow rests, sleeps, all that stuff. However, at the time when the Wishmaker happened, Wishmaker kind of split open the earth, which in turns, his home at this top of the mountain, because of the magical energy, it kind of like broke, like that area was kind of protected, but in the same way, since everything around it wasn't, it broke off and then kind of floated into the space area. A lot of things in this transition died, but you know, as this great, ancient, powerful dragon, yeah, he's fine. Which is why, so he lived in heaven before it became separate from the world and became like heaven. Of course, a lot of the original angels, this happened to them as well. So, though he was originally like a freshwater kind of like sea serpent-y lake dragon, of course, but has the wings. We're just starting to talk about the lore. Okay. I guess in summary, since I didn't quite mention it, this is the oldest dragon in Phantasticus, which is the name of my silly little fantasy world that I have going on. And he is he's one of my gods, the god of light, and lives in heaven. Now, if he lives in heaven before the heaven was split off by the Wishmaker. And during this split off, his mountain kind of got cracked, even though it was mostly intact, but the water kind of leaked everywhere out of the mountain, creating more of like a flat, like not as deep, but lake below. So now this dragon that was meant to kind of live, yes, they are one whole part that just eventually split off from each other. That is correct. And that's why we have things like dragons and the identification of similar species between the planes, is because they literally were one part of the world that just broke off separately into their own little bodies. Own little bodies of space. So, with that, thank you so much. But with that, because of that, this mainly aquatic serpent, it was an aquatic amphisphere originally, but because of that, he kind of had to change, and the magical energy shifted around him to, instead of being water-based, to being a lot more air-based, which then, while he did originally have wings, that is why he's since grown more, and is kind of separated from the water. However, from own sense of comfort, he still tends to chill by that lake, guarding the brand new lake, rather than necessarily, like, in the... Oh, that's very cool. I'll have to go check it out, Split. Thank you so much. But yeah. So rather than inside the water, he's more so around the water. And obviously, over time, this dragon kind of got like... So, pretty much, this dragon lived in the water. The water, it was now gone, and is not as deep or used to it, so he got used to the mountain. However, because the angels in this great split were now also there, they began taking over the mountains, building their homes, their kingdoms, their castles. So, therefore, they practically replaced the dragon out of this home, because he had to move away, because these are a lot of angels, and angels are very powerful, so even though he was like a powerful god in himself, that's why he's not dead. There was kind of like no real way for him to win the fight. So then he went from the air, so he went from the water to more mountainous, to the air, to the water once more, because angels don't need as much water as mortals do, and therefore I will see it, but I'll do it after stream. So yeah, there is of course other mountains that he did go to as well, but then he mainly went into the water simply because he's really huge, and therefore if you were just really huge dragons at war with the angels, is he chill dragon? Yeah, trauma with the angels. So that's why he chooses to mainly be under the water now. Because simply angels are not the best swimmers. They can swim, but they're really not built for it like he is. Therefore, he went aquatic again. And from that moment, people kind of vaguely knew of his existence. Like, there were a lot of old spirit tales and stories, especially sylphs, about this giant water dragon, this flying water dragon up in the mountains. And thus, when it comes to, and we'll be talking about him a little bit more, the Supreme Angel. We'll talk about him soon. But when it eventually comes time, he does help in waging war against heaven. Because that does happen. I will not tell you how or when, or even really why, but he does help wage war against heaven and was recruited by Eve. Are the angels homophobes? No, they're very gay. They're very gay, very trans. I mentioned this on a short, but angels are part of this genderless, sexless society. So one, they don't have sexism because they view them all as like... because they don't really have an idea or concept of sex or gender. And in that same way, they don't really have concepts of sexuality. So practically, there really is no straight, there is no gay, there is no straight. In fact, in a way, angels, they don't really do marriage and stuff. They kind of just do war. And then they do have children, but again, they don't really get married. They kind of just more so they're like, oh, I have to bear this child. I have to therefore have this child. But they don't care about the commitment of that because their commitment is to war. And that is because of that, a lot of angels, they just kind of do what they please. And if that happens to be a man when they're a man, then so be it. Demons, however, they are homophobes. They're also very gay, but they're homophobic about it. Honestly, I can't wait to talk about Mem and that guy. Dear, oh Christ, that guy. Anyway, that's really all for lore. I know I don't really have too much lore on this dragon specifically. I more so have lore about heaven. This dragon really doesn't play much of the stories, doesn't really have any followers anymore since he's just surrounded by angels who hate him. He does have a relationship with Valerie. Simply because she also now lives in the mountains. They are chill with each other. But yeah, if there's any other stories or lore that you want, you can ask away now since I don't really have any more lore to give. This is a part of the stream that I was really nervous about because I knew the character design stream, the character design portion, would be full of stuff since I have so many ideas, references, plans for this character, but I really had like no lore. Yes, they do have male and female genitals. They are they are all intersex. And I use the term co-sex because the technical like actual term is like the one that's still used like biologically to like describe sea slugs and stuff, that is used as a slur towards intersex people. And while it could be argued that biologically they are technically like that, and that is still the technical proper term, however, there is a problem of my angels are humanoids. And therefore, it felt weird and off-putting to use something that is a slur towards humans against these humanoid characters, even if they fit the definition. So I use the term co-sexed because that is what is used by many fantasy authors and stuff. Towards humanoids. Yes, this is my character. And I'm talking about my fantasy world and lore and my characters. What kind of dragon is that? It is an amphitheater. It is a legless, armless dragon with wings. I didn't know that. It's common to use the term in Brazil. Thank you so much. Goodness. Yes. And it even is common, like some intersex people do use the term, the H slur to describe themselves. However, most of them don't, and especially because it's, as a human, like, it is, like, practically impossible to actually be that, which is why the term was being used because it was a misconception, which is why it is considered a slur, at least in America and stuff. Because it really didn't accurately describe people, and that's also why, even though it does accurately describe my angels, I refuse to use it because it does more harm than good. So yeah, I use either intersex or cosex for them. Ooh, look at that. Another Brazilian in chat. Honestly, a lot of my dragons are gods or godlike. And it's more than just Chinese and Asian dragons. Like there's Quetzalcoatlus in there's Quetzalcoatlus. I can never remember if it's Aztec or Mayan, but so Latin is a Latin American dragon that is also a god. There's also the dragon this was based off of, the rainbow serpent, which there are many rainbow serpents. There's rainbow serpents in Australia, which is literally the creator god, and the rainbow serpents in, say, like Africa, they are water goddesses. So I would say most of the non-white world has so yeah, most of the non-white world has dragons that are gods, are godlike. A lot of this more evil dragons come from Christianity because because dragons were used like in placement and supplement representations of the devil. Quetzalcoatlus is my favorite dinosaur, so yeah, I know all about that. But yes, name Quetzalcoatl. As for yes, I literally have like no lore to talk about for this character. I don't know why he's trans. He just is now. Well, yeah. Very similar. I know that it's not technically a dinosaur, but it's kind of like the well, it's not like technically a dinosaur, but it falls very similar in that category of very big prehistoric. He's alive. I do have gods that are like dead and stuff. I only count them for the ones that are alive. This one is alive and it does play a very important story role, but I don't just want to give away my lore for the story. I'm mainly just giving backstories, and I haven't really developed the backstory of here. Hello, Linda. That is fair. But yes, I know that Quetzalcoatlus is a type of pterosaur. But in the same way that pterodactyl is considered a dinosaur, is why I say that Quetzalcoatlus is. canonically my OCs have met your OCs. Yeah, I guess canonically in your world, because definitely not canonically in mine. I mean, if anything, they haven't met my OCs. They've probably just met the Wishmaker and maybe of a few of my other little silly unnamed creature guys. Ghost things. Hello, Pointy Edits. Yes, that is true. I am aware. I just have nothing to say. That's fair. I really don't either because I'm out of lore. I am, because, like, a lot of the things, like, I could start talking about my angel lore, but I really shouldn't. I gotta save that for next week's stream. If you know who I'm talking about, you know. AKA probably only, like, Silly knows. Oh, Avi just said something but rejected the message? Where did you go? No, I wanted to read that. I was too busy drawing scales. The kind of thing, did it stop? No. There were a few, I think there were a few of them that were put out, but there's also more. There's more of them. They're not as close by, but there's still a lot of fires going on. I don't think, there's not ash everywhere though. I don't know what's going on with the big fire though. I really haven't checked up on it in a minute. So currently I'm fine, okay. We haven't lost power in a minute. But you know, who knows when that could change. The sky hasn't been literally yellow and covered in like smoke and ash. Another question I want to say, I think, why not my mouth? Moths can fly without their antennae. Antennae, they're mainly used for, communication and sense. So she might just have to, like, because, like, they might just, like, hit trees and stuff. Because they do use that to, like, sense their direction, but it's mainly for, communication and stuff. But that would be really cool. Oh no, not redacted. Not the rat. Anyway, stream is almost over. It's harder, for sure. For sure. It's not, like, impossible. Because, again, their antennae, they use it to communicate and sense their surroundings. So flying would be, like, super hard. Because they lost one of their senses that they use. That is true. Dragons wouldn't be able to exist because, or they would have to be really small, like insects, because of their limb count. And wyverns are the most realistic kinds of dragons. However, I will say my dragons are kind of separate. Like, they are not quite reptiles or birds. They are, in fact, they're pretty far away from birds. Like, they are mammals unto they are reptiles, are birds. And especially because a lot of things are weird just because the sake that it is a fantasy world, I am not too concerned with making everything 100% realistic, though I do base with, like, yeah. Yes, wyvern also, worms could exist as well. Because they are practically just snakes. Hello, Jennifer, and goodbye, Jennifer. Honestly, is this another welcome to the long-haired trans man club? I've got a lot of long-haired trans guys. Like Azrael. Yes, they are practically wyverns, though they do miss a bit of the things that make wyverns, like, especially wyverns. Because there are other details specific about wyverns. For example, all wyverns are venomous. And they go to cut off. Like, the fact that a wyvern has, like, usually this venom is kind of like, yes. Nuri is part of the long-haired trans man club. He's literally the founder of the club. I'm gonna leave. Alright. See you, Split. I'll have to check out, the drawing that you posted later. Once stream is over. I mean, yes. I'm aware of what you're saying. Of course, it doesn't really apply to what I'm doing here since it is a high fantasy world. And thus is not supposed to be like science fiction or be at all accurate. Yes, because you are commenting under your YouTube channel. So I do know what it is called, and you've already said that. Bye. Stream's gonna end anyway soon, so don't be too upset. But yeah. Since this is a rainbow, I think I'm gonna use, I don't use many reds or pinks. I think I'm gonna make him pink. For our single chosen color, I think I'm gonna do like coral, like I think an R1 would be good. I don't know, I'm not looking at my color sheets right now. But I'm thinking an R1. Yeah, an R1. Now where is it? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Breathe fire. So a lot of people have think about having like some kind of sac. Kind of like how a lot of snakes have like their venom glands, like a venom sac. They would have something like a gas, and then they could just produce sparks. You know, like the hideous Zippleback from How to Train Your Dragon. That's what I commonly see when people being like scientifically accurate fire breathing dragon thing. I hate when I notice that I don't know how to write and don't know what the word means both at the same time while live. That's so fair. I feel dumb. That is fair. I do have I've got friends that use very big words in casual conversation, and I'm like, what the hell? What the hell are you doing here? Like, what are you trying to do? Who are you trying to prove yourself to? Why are you being so mean to me like this? Simply because words are hard. I have heard of the beetle, but I know just about nothing about it. So I want this to be like a colorful sash, the rest of the clothes white. I'll just kind of throw in color for his hair, just to use it as something to differentiate between him and the rest of him. I do, after all, the purple of the purpose of this color is not to be color accurate. The purpose is just to give a little flair to the drawings. Add a little something. You had a moose? I think there's more. I think there's a lot more than just having a moose that died. I'm sorry for the loss of your moose. You had a moose? But the difference you're. Oh, that is true. Darn, I would love to tell you what the word means, but obviously, since you don't know how to spell the word, you could do the vibe. How do you think the word is said? Oh, a snail called Moose. A very big snail. Was the snail moose-sized? Was it a moose-sized snail? Named Moose? Oh, yeah, I think that's big. I don't know. I'm a filthy American. That's definitely big for a snail. And then I add, oh yeah, there's a few more gender, and then I add lashes. Honestly, I think it's crazy that the lashes are associated with the femininity, especially because men have longer lashes than women. Like, if you see a woman and you see a man without any makeup on, the man will have longer lashes than the girl almost always. Camels also have pretty long lashes. That is because they live in the desert and have to keep sand out of their eyes. Dude, whenever I get to the line art phase, I think that my little creature character shits look so ass, and then I throw on some color, then I slap on some color like this, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's all coming together. You can't see, I'm holding it at the wrong place. You really can't see what I'm doing when I do stuff over here, so I gotta hold the camera. think it's do right there. Alright, and I'll do this one too while I'm here. I tried to look through the camera to color. It didn't work out well. As you can see, I missed the drawing completely. There we go. And the Phantasticus men. Specifically, my angels have very big lashes, and the Fae have very big lashes. Eve is a woman, but Eve is transfemme, so Beelzebub technically though. Beelzebub has shorter lashes than Eve, and he's a trans man. So also Azrael, big ash lashes. And who are the other? Facelia has the biggest lashes. I missed a segment of Snake. There. All right. Tail resembles a spider? I don't exactly know what you mean by that. But I do love spiders, so I'll take that. You're talking about the spider-tailed viper. It is really cool. I do love animals that have like that kind of like natural like mimicry is what it's called. I think it is genuinely so cool. Like moths do it all the time. Anyway, love how all my example of men with long lashes are all trans men. Goodness gracious. Blue animals are also cool. But anyway, this is Rainbow. I know the name is a pun, but I thought it would be really cool to do a pun. And can you hate me? Can you hate me for having whimsy in my soul? Truly? Anyway, so this is our lovely little, the god of light, rainbows, water. Wait. What? Silly. You know what? This is also maybe the god of light, but maybe also the god of humor and joy and whimsy and puns. Okay? It is with a G, yes. It's based on the old English spelling of rainbow. And of course, to end off the stream, we got a color up here. Color our beautiful rainbow. That's only going to be one color because I only permit myself to use one color for these drawings. But yeah. There we go. And with that, that's been another Phantasticus character completed. Another one of our beautiful dragons. And guess what? After this, we will finally not be talking about a dragon. And then after that, we will immediately be talking about a dragon again. But then, for the next 6 days, well, not 6 days, 6 weeks after that, we will not be doing dragons. So that is my hint. That is the final hint. My little message is we're going to continue being in heaven, of course, and we're not going to be talking about a dragon. I'm sure the people who are familiar with my content and familiar with my characters all know who's going up. The bastard, the bitch, himself, the Supreme Angel. I'm already going to confirm it. I'm going to, and because it's either like you're not going to know enough about my characters to know anything about this, to recognize that it's the Supreme Angel, or you're going to be able to recognize that it's him immediately. So the little hints that I'm going to do, obviously I'm going to contain little information details about him. But my goal is not for you to guess that it's the Supreme Angel. My goal is to guess how many things that you can understand about him by the pictures that I use. And the next thing that I will say, just gonna switch it over to this side because I think this side is prettier. But yeah. And the little next thing with that is, hopefully, I am planning to do like a yeah, the Supreme Angel, he's coming up. I do hope to get the whiteout backstory out before the Supreme Angel video. If it's not, I'm hoping to release this, like, the Supreme Angel on the day of. So I'm probably going to, I think we're going to talk about the Supreme Angel and then release the whiteout, but I might release the whiteout story before the Supreme Angel stream. It really just depends on how busy I am and when I can get it done. Does that sound good? I was planning to release the whiteout story now, just to, you know, because I thought it would be fun if I did it now, and then, like, oh, if people, after the stream, they go read the Supreme Angel story, and, you know, then they preemptively hate him before the stream starts, and I think that would be a very fun energy to bring into the house. Is that another artist? Yes, we are ending stream now. We are closing up. I drew all these dragons. I drew all these pretty little guys. But, yeah. Rosie, why are you scratching the carpet? Anyway, I think somebody wants to say bye to you guys, because she just entered. Hello, Rosie. Everyone say hi and bye to Rosie. She's saying hi to you. You should say hi to her back. It's really rude that you're not. Okay. And, of course, with this dragon being done, with the Welcome to Phantasticus being colored in, that was our Phantasticus stream for the day. And there's little hints. Hopefully, I'm able to get that thing out, but I think I'll have to post it next Wednesday. By the way, the stream should be on Wednesday. Hopefully, the redacted stream should be coming up sometime this month, but I don't know when. And I would say blue stream on Saturday, though, because it is July 4th, I might see if I can do it on Sunday, as Avi suggested, because it's their birthday. However, there is still a good chance that it will be on Saturday. What is redacted? Redacted is redacted. That's all you need to know. Anyway, with that said, goodbye. Goodbye and good night. I'm gonna go eat something, and you should all do that too. Bye-bye.